The union that represents most of the firefighters in Austin wants city leaders to hire more cadets.
They say this would help address challenges firefighters face with their mental health and safety. KVUE's Jessica Cha spent the day speaking with members of the Austin Firefighters Association and a firefighter who says there needs to be more of a conversation about the department's needs. Jessica?
Quita, the AFA told me today that since 2017, there have been 4 firefighter suicides that were work-related. Now, in keeping that in mind, throughout this story, we're going to keep the number for the National Suicide Helpline up on the bottom of your screen, and that number is 988. But the union told me today that something needs to change in order to keep folks who do such an important job happy and healthy. They're there to help when you might be having the worst day of your life.
Firefighters see this stuff daily. Where you might see once in your life a regular citizen, these folks see it all the time.
But who's there for Austin firefighters when they're having theirs?
Every human has a breaking point, and they're just getting to the point where there's just too much going on for them in their daily lives.
Bob Nix, the Austin Firefighters Association president, says the current state of mental health and safety issues among firefighters is dismal.
A firefighter, unless he takes vacation, never has a weekend off with his family, ever.
Nix says firefighters currently work a 24-hour shift and has 48 hours off. Basically recovering, running errands, spending time with family, and sleeping, all in just one day.
They start becoming like a stranger to their family when they're away that much. And when they come home and their head's somewhere else or processing an injury that they saw or some horrific event.
And that can start to get to you.
I can't go to the Container Store without thinking of a car wreck. I can't drive down 1626 without thinking of a car wreck.
Lieutenant Amanda Bennett has been with AFD for 16 years. And in that time, she's lost 4 colleagues to suicide.
It's a really big problem, and a lot of people are suffering in silence. And I was one.
Bennett says she tried to commit suicide in December 2021. She says she didn't see another way out and didn't feel like she could talk about the trauma that they see on the job.
People brush things off, and I think it's a way to protect themselves because it's easier. It's easier that way.
She says that needs to change.
We need support. And we need a little more time between shifts. We need some more awareness about this mental health issue.
Nix says the AFA is asking the city for an additional cadet class so firefighters can reduce the amount of hours they work in a week. Councilmember Mackenzie Kelly says leaders are already discussing it.
There is a pretty hefty cost associated with it, and council would need to find out where that money would come from because it's not currently available.
Kelly, a former volunteer firefighter, says making other cuts would be worth it.
Every life is worth saving, and if this helps one firefighter not go through what the other firefighter did, then it would be worthwhile.
Now, Nix with the AFA says that they ultimately want to reduce firefighters' work schedules down so that they have a 72-hour break between each shift so that they have time to relax and reconnect with their support systems. And he says that they are still having discussions with that with city leaders. Live in the newsroom, Jessica Cha, KVUE News.